Hi, you're watching India Post Live, India's first web TV online news conversation. I'm Shivraj, and today we're discussing the battle for Bihar. Join in the conversation by logging on to our website, indiapostlive.com. You can also tweet with us. Use the hashtag IndiaPostLive, and of course, we'll keep reading out those tweets to our guests in studio during that conversation. So the battle for Bihar is beginning in earnest from Thursday itself, with few seats going to the polls on the 10th. It has become quite a prestige issue. A lot of the leaders, national leaders, have made Bihar a center stage for their big battle. But how important are the regional satraps for this election from Bihar? Let's take a look.
Bihar has always played a crucial role in who becomes the king at the center. Though BJP-led alliance may have an advantage because of crucial tie-ups with Dalit leader Ramvilas Paswan's LJP and OBC leader Upendra Kushwaha's RLSP. But former CM Lalu Yadav is hoping that a strong BJP will push the OBC and Muslim votes to his side. His alliance with the Congress could then make him a potent force that he was 10 years ago. Where does that leave Chief Minister Nitish Kumar's JDU? Well, he's banking on better candidates and his good governance record to give him enough seats to be an important player post-polls. With 40 parliament seats up for grabs in the state, both Lalu and Nitish are fencing their chances in a hung parliament scenario, where whoever corners more seats could either be a king or kingmaker.
So this battle for Bihar is really about the regional players on ground. Joining us in studio for the conversation is Secretary General from the RLSP. You featured in that story there. You are somewhat seen as a change maker on the ground. And of course, our in-house expert journalist, Asha Khosa. Shivraj, the first question to you is how important are alliances for the Battle of Bihar? Because at this stage, it was a state run by two alliances consecutively, but this time there has been a break. So how important is the regional play right now in Bihar?
See, in Bihar, regional parties are very important because you see that one national party is non-existent in Bihar, that is Congress party.
Sure.
It has minimal presence in Bihar, and in this election it might be decimated. So now remains one another national party, BJP, which will be the single largest party in Bihar as far as the parliamentary elections are concerned. But apart from that, there are several regional parties in Bihar, and they will have their say in this Lok Sabha elections. And that is the reason you see that Congress as well as BJP, the two national parties, they have aligned with regional parties in Bihar.
And so they're very heavily dependent on them. But you were with the JDU before, and there was a difference of opinion of how Nitish Kumar severed ties with the BJP. The calculation was very clear.
Yes.
He was looking now to woo the minority vote, woo the votes that the BJP traditionally enjoyed as well, and try to position himself differently. How is that going to play out? Because of course, the battle for Bihar is really about the caste and the religious combinations on ground.
Yes, you are right to some extent. I was the only person in JDU, I was National Secretary of the party, and I was the only person in JDU who left JDU when Mr. Nitish Kumar parted ways with ND on issue of Narendra Modi ji. And I must tell you that caste is very important in Bihar, but I'll also tell you that it is not only important in Bihar, it is equally important in Tamil Nadu, in Haryana,
Sure.
in Uttar Pradesh, and even in other states like Maharashtra. Can you imagine some non-Maratha winning from Baramati? Or can you imagine some non-Yadav winning from Gurgaon? In the same way, caste is an important factor even in Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. But it is more important in Bihar definitely. But a welcome change is that Mr. Narendra Modi is breaking the caste barriers.
Okay. That's my next question to you, Asha. And I'm glad you brought up the issue of Narendra Modi. He's playing up the whole OBC, image. He's gone to Bihar. His speeches there were very clearly reaching out to the OBC vote bank. Do you think that will work, given that Bihar is so deeply moored in the regional parties and their following?
Well, Bihar is as complex a situation as the rest of India is, but the problem with Bihar is it has had more than one regional party. In other states, we'll find one odd regional party, and then they become sometime powerful, sometime weak, sometime they align with UPA, sometime they align with NDA alliance. So, but Bihar is a different ball game. There are castes, subcastes, and the people two leaders unite to woo a particular caste and combination of castes. So, what I am trying to say is Bihar symbolizes the best and worst in India, So, definitely none of us would like to see this, that caste combinations become the deciding point for election, but that is a fact of the matter. And Narendra Modi has also been playing the same card, on a very superficial level. He appears to be, not addressing those issues directly, but the choice of candidates for BJP goes on the same lines as wooing a particular caste, giving signals to particular caste that we are with you and we are not so with the other caste. So nothing has changed on the surface. Mr. Modi has come. He has come as a paratrooper with a whatever he is trying to project himself as. So Bihar, either there is a Modi wave, people will vote for him because there may or may not be a Modi wave, or they will not vote for him because there is none. But essentially, candidates they will select based on the caste factors.
And Shivraj Singh, I'm glad that Asha also brought this whole idea of the Modi wave. We've got a Twitter question which says, from Vishal Sehgal, Modi wave will sweep Bihar or will the Nitish Sarkar carry on? Now, the conversations that have been going on, a lot of experts watching Bihar have said that the BJP itself has not got its seat distribution in order. There was a very public spat with Shatrughan Sinha on the seat of Patna. The BJP conceded quite a large number of seats to small players like yourself. Do you see the BJP or the Modi wave really carrying the day in Bihar?
Yes, definitely. It is not only in Bihar, it is all over the country. But as Narendra Modi ji rightly said in his last rally in Nevada, that if the wave is to be seen somewhere, it is at its peak in Bihar. But definitely you need to align with the right kind of parties, because Bihar has a very strong background of the socialist forces.
Sure.
We are part of that.
Absolutely.
Lalu ji is part of that. Ramvilas Paswan ji is part of that. Nitish ji is part of that. We are part of that. So it has a very, very strong socialist background, and it is deeply entrenched into the soil of politics of Bihar. So it was very prudent on part of BJP and Mr. Narendra Modi to have allied with Mr. Ramvilas Paswan and us. We were the first political party to ally with BJP after the break-off of Nitish Kumar and after the projection of Mr. Narendra Modi as Prime Ministerial candidate. We were the first political party. So I think that there is a wave in Bihar in favor of Mr. Modi, and Nitish Kumar will not be able to survive this wave. Lalu ji is definitely holding some ground, to be very frank, but Nitish ji is not going to survive. He'll be almost decimated, and it will be difficult for him to win even a single seat. And crossing one seat will be a Herculean task for Mr. Nitish Kumar, and this was a suicidal move which I had been telling him when I was in JDU. That, because I'll tell you one thing, Nitish Kumar was never a leader of Bihar. He was a pivotal point of anti-Lalu votes in Bihar. And after he parted ways with BJP, he is left with very few votes which will not be able to translate into seats in the parliamentary
So just
elections.
to balance the show, we do have an interview with the leader of JDU, KC Tyagi. So let's listen in to see what he has to say on the perspective.
Ramvilas Paswan has returned back to the fold of the NDA, and the Congress has opted to go with the Lalu and the NCP. And you are left as a lone ranger there in Bihar. How will you react to that?
You know, these are regional petty casteist organization led by Sri Ramvilas Paswan. There is not even a single or MLA or MP in neither in assembly nor in parliament. Ramvilas Paswan is the person when he went to Pakistan, he was introduced to Parvez Musharraf saying that I am the person who left the Atal Bihari Vajpayee cabinet on the question of Godra killing. Now he is saying that Narendra Modi is all right.
What role do you see for the regional parties after these general elections?
The election to the four state was held for a month back, where there is a state fight between Congress party and BJP. It was general trend that Congress party is losing its popularity day by day. And in the three states, the BJP got succeed. But where there was a alternative possible for Congress and BJP both, people opted for a 6-month bond party like Aam Aadmi Party. We got inspired from that experiment.
So you are inspired from the Aam Aadmi Party.
With the experiment of the Aam Aadmi Party, with the phenomena of the Aam Aadmi Party, that where there is a alternative of Congress and BJP, people will vote for that alternative.
You are saying that Narendra Modi is a communal person, and what are your views on Advani ji? Is he not communal?
Advani ji and Atal ji and Sri Narendra Modi, they share the same views. We are not under any confusion. But Atal ji, Advani ji, George Fernandez and Nitish Kumar, they formed one common minimum program agenda from which all the controversial issues were deleted.
All right, so let's get reactions into that interview from Shivraj Singh, who's in our studios. The two things that Mr. Tyagi raised in the interview. One was the question that we were discussing just before, this whole new wave, the fact that Nitish trying to hark back to the socialist roots that he enjoys. On the other hand, the communal card. So how important are these two major planks right now in Bihar and how people will vote?
I'll tell you, this communal secular debate, it is not only going to fail badly in this country, rather these leaders will be forced to exit from the political scene because of this nonsensical debate, which they do not themselves believe in. Like Mr. Nitish Kumar and Sharad Yadav had been saying that Advani ji was our leader and Vajpayee ji was our leader, but Narendra Modi ji will not accept because of his communal face, or you can say Hindutva face or whatever. I want to ask them that Mr. Nitish Kumar went to the national executive of Bharatiya Janata Party to be held in Mumbai in 1995, in the month of November. And he went and he begged before BJP for an alliance with him when he was in Samta Party. Nobody invited him to BJP, and even then Hindutva was a non-compromisable agenda of Bharatiya Janata Party, and before that Babri Masjid was demolished, and there were similar charges against Mr. Advani and Mr. Vajpayee and BJP also, that the party has demolished. There were charges that party has demolished Babri Masjid. So same are the charges about the Gujarat riots. So it is a politics of convenience. It is not politics of principle. And let me tell you, all these big leaders of JDU, they cannot win their own election. If Nitish Kumar contests from any seat of 40 seats of Bihar, he will lose. Mr. Sharad Yadav will lose any seat which he contests. Mr. Tyagi is not from Bihar, he will not contest. But anywhere he contests, he will lose. So they cannot win their own respective Lok Sabha seats. Forget of winning other seats and winning something for the party.
So we do actually have someone joining in on the conversation from Chandigarh, Mr. Ritesh Dutt. Go ahead and throw your question to our experts in studio. Mr. Dutt, can you hear us from Chandigarh? Anyway, just going back, Asha,
Yeah.
to what Shivraj Singh said, the fact is that these are elections where Nitish and all not really contesting
I
directly.
think he is coming. Okay.
Not really contesting directly, but at some level there's a lot of prestige now linked to these elections. The fact that a lot of election pundits are saying that at best they will get 2 to 5 seats. Is this really a make or break for Nitish Kumar and the whole plank that he stood on, breaking away from the BJP?
See, what I think of this elections, the role of Nitish Kumar, it is not whether he remains a leader of Bihar. That is not the question. Question is when Nitish Kumar is saying, I don't like Modi, and he has been consistent with
But how
this
much
stand.
of a role will he play at the national stage?
That's what I'm trying to tell you about. When he says so, he's positioning himself as a national leader, wannabe Prime Minister of this country.
Yes,
there's a
that
third,
was exactly the problem.
Yeah.
It was not secularism,
He
it was
is
share of
seeing
Prime
himself-
Minister.
He's seeing himself as probably he can become a Prime Minister of India, and he wants to position himself from that point of view. Also, he's appealing to a larger constituency. His field of action is not Bihar at the moment. When he's saying so, there is a possibility if there's a hung kind of a parliament, there could be a third front, which most of the people think it can come. It is one of the possibilities that is being worked out. If that happens, Dark House can emerge and become the Prime Minister, like we had seen a couple of times. So, in that case, Mr. Nitish Kumar has stakes. So he would not like to compromise with his on this issue. That is why he is positioning himself like that. But to be very honest and fair to Nitish Kumar, he has been consistently taking an anti-Modi stand to the extent
I'll tell you
that
what.
he has been taking.
No,
he may
no.
have his reasons for that.
No, he's not consistent. That is the problem. And this is
Well,
the
ever
reason.
since he became the Chief Minister of Bihar,
Yes,
he
yes.
had been
Yes.
consistently
He
taking.
said he won't let him step foot in
I'll
Bihar.
remind you.
Yeah, he did it.
I'll remind you. When he became the Chief Minister of Bihar, Mr. Narendra Modi went to Patna in his swearing in ceremony as Chief Minister of Gujarat. So he's not consistent in his approach of opposing Mr. Narendra Modi. He became an opponent of Narendra Modi only at the time of 2009 elections of Lok Sabha. When he sensed that BJP on its own cannot form the government, he started opposing Mr. Narendra Modi. And because people of Bihar, and especially Muslims whom he is targeting, they are not fools. They see that when 2002 riots occurred in Gujarat, which were very unfortunate, Mr. Nitish Kumar as railway minister, you know what was his deeds? He did not even give the name of passengers and the details of those passengers as railway ministers. The applications filed by some RTI activists, no details were given, and he was the most instrumental cabinet minister in the country when Gujarat riots broke out. What was his role? He could have thrown open the railway hospitals for the victims of Gujarat. He did not. Mr. Sarad Yadav,
I think people when
he did not do anything. So it was politics of convenience. So when it was convenient for him to be a cabinet minister, and when it was convenient for Mr. Sarad Yadav to be the cabinet minister in NDA government, they were there. And when he sensed that he can become prime minister, which he cannot be in his lifetime, he thought that now rake the issue of Gujarat riots. If he was serious about Gujarat riots, if he was serious about the victims of Gujarat riots, Mr. Sarad Yadav, as a food and civil supplies minister, he could have gone and sent some buggy of a train full of food grains. Mr. Narendra Modi would not have opposed that. They could have taken out a Shanti March in Gujarat to side with the riot victims. Who would have opposed that? Did they ever go even once to sympathize with the Gujarat riot victims? They did not.
So clearly Nitish is an emotive issue, but
It's a game.
But
It's a game of convenience.
So when
think
we're
that
looking at
yeah.
regional alliances and national ambition, I think in all of this, Lalu Prasad Yadav seems to be sitting on the sidelines and waiting and watching. Isn't that so?
Well, I think there is similarity between the ambitions of Lalu Prasad Yadav and Nitish Kumar. Both of them are at some stage eyeing a position in the center. They want to be, as your story said, they want to be either kings or the king makers. And they know, Bihar is one of the largest states, sends 40 MPs to the parliament, which is a huge number. And if either of them gets big chunk of seats, so they can be the kingmakers. And both BJP and Congress as such, as Mr. Shivraj rightly said, They don't have much presence there, but they have a strong alliance with RJD. RJD is planning to stage a comeback, and they're hoping they will come back. Only time will tell us whether they are able to
I
do
can
it.
assure you one thing. We are a party who got our election symbol a few, maybe 1 month back, and all of us have come out from JDU. But I can assure you on this show that the number of JDU will be lesser than, it will be lesser than the numbers of Rashtriya Lok Samata Party in Lok Sabha. That I can assure you.
And then again, going back to the fact of development. Now, you know, the big plank was that Bihar has improved tremendously in terms of livelihood projects, in terms of development on ground. But recent polls have shown that somehow there has been, because of all the politicking and the election, a slowdown on that front. Do you feel that perhaps that is not a plank that Nitish could really ride on anymore?
Actually, to be very honest, Shivraj, in India, nobody wins on a developmental plank. We know what happened to Sheila Dikshit. She didn't come back. She had, if you quantify the development she had done for Delhi, it's huge. I mean, development is not something which people vote for. Let's accept this fact. But yes,
No,
of
I
course,
have some difference of opinion here.
Sure, you can say when you say. Generally, I'm saying it doesn't, but the fact is that we were hoping that Bihar will lead India, on this matter. Development issues will become prominent election issues. It was seen in last elections in Bihar. Development became a key issue, and we realized that during Nitish Kumar's time, there has been a lot of development on the ground. Now, how do you justify with it, GDP and percentage of growth and all that? That's a different story. But people say, yes, there has been a lot of development in Bihar during Nitish Kumar's time. But at the end, the question for us is, has Mr. Nitish Kumar's personal ambition to become Prime Minister overtaken the growth story of Bihar?
Okay, just before we get you in, Mr. Shivraj Singh, we just get a comment from our Skype guest. He can't hear us, but he does want to leave a thought behind in this conversation. Go ahead,
Hello?
Mr. Dutt.
Sir, I wanted to ask a simple question that why is it people in Bihar still polling on religious basis rather than on basis of development?
Okay. So we go back to the question of why religion continues to be. So, I mean, and if you could just explain, not just the fact of the Muslim vote, but also the way that the combinations are broken down from Brahmin to the caste combination to the religion. How important, how potent is that
Just
factor?
at the beginning of this show itself,
Right.
I told you that it is not only in Bihar, it is all over the country.
Sure.
Can you, like I told you, can you imagine a non-Yadav candidate winning from Gurgaon? It is not possible. And as far as religion is concerned, it's also the same case. No party gives ticket to Muslim or Hindus or Sikhs where they are not dominant in numbers. So it's all over the country. As far as developmental plank is concerned, which our guest asked and which Asaji also was telling, Bihar won the election of Bihar Assembly elections of 2010 solely on the developmental plank.
Absolutely.
Because the NDA government in question did a lot of developmental work, not only developmental work, law and order problem was solved to a large extent. And people felt that yes, government exists, because in Lalu's time, government had withered away. There was no government at all. It was complete mafia raj. So development, I don't say that it is a non-issue, but yes, elections are not won or lost on a single issue. It is a combination of several issues like development, law and order, and empowerment of the marginalized sections. It is not that only by, like Narendra Modi ji said, development with justice. So development needs to percolate down to the most marginalized section also, and the fruits of development should be equally distributed. What we see after the misrule of Congress party, several decades of misrule of Congress party, that in spite of the constitutional provision that regional disparities should be done away with, which is a constitutional obligation of all the government, we see such a huge regional disparity in the country. So our party, Rashtriya Lok Samta Party, wants that development should be there, but the weaker sections, the marginalized sections of the society should also be getting the fruits of the development, and the democracy should be more and more participative. That is our idea.
So, Asha, just wanted to ask you because, Nitish might just be overplaying the whole national ambition card simply because, there were instances of poisoning in schools, for instance. The response mechanism, the criticism was that while he was talking about being, right from the marginalized and the common man, he somehow has, become a bit over-ambitious,
And let me tell you
Do you think
one
that's
more thing. Let me tell you one more thing. I'll tell you the real game which was played.
Okay.
I was part of JDU, and this secularism communalism debate was not at all the issue on which Mr. Nitish Kumar left. He wanted to become the Prime Minister, and sensing that some of the anti-national forces started, igniting his ambitions, and some of the hostile nations funded JDU and Mr. Nitish Kumar. He was heavily funded by some of the hostile nations to stop Mr. Narendra Modi from being even the candidate of NDA, so that, yes, I have said that so many times. Yes, Mr. Nitish Kumar went to the office of former People Liberation Army's chief. He went there, and when we asked him under RTI that which all places did you go in China, he never replied, because he went to the office of former chief of the People's Liberation Army, and the hostile nations funded his ambitions to be Prime Minister.
Look, why would he do that? If the Maoist problem is an issue that also Bihar faces, why would he do that?
No, Maoist problem
Maybe it's something that spills over each time.
No. It's a different ball game altogether.
Right.
The hostile nations around us, they do not want a stable government in India, a strong government in India. They want, a lame duck government in India so that they can play their games. I'll ask you one thing. When Chumar Post was captured by China, Congress party spoke against that move of China. BJP spoke against that move of China. Lalu Prasad ji spoke against that move of China. Even Mulayam Singh criticized. Why Nitish Kumar or Sharad Yadav did not raise a word of opposition against the move of China?
Okay, so we're going to give Asha the
And
last
I'll tell you
word.
one thing. It was given to the notice of Honorable Prime Minister by the then Ambassador of Nepal, Mr. Rakesh Sood, that JDU is being funded by hostile nations, and that is why Mr. Sharad Yadav opposed his tenure. He said that this ambassador, Mr. Rakesh Sood, Indian ambassador in Nepal, should be removed immediately. He went to the Prime Minister with this request, but his request was turned down, and Mr. Rakesh Sood has been made a special envoy of disarmament with the Prime Minister.
Okay, so this is actually a discussion we should be having over and above, but I think just going back and giving you the last word to the original idea of the conversation, which was perhaps in this effort to become a national player and a game changer, Nitish Kumar might have overreached himself with all the gaps that exist now.
Yes, surely. People say that he might have committed mistake by breaking so abruptly with the BJP. Anyway, in a way that was inevitable, given the fact that Modi was rising in BJP and Nitish couldn't stand him, maybe for personal reasons and also for bigger political reasons. That's a fact of the matter. But at the same time, he has apparently displeased a lot of his people, like Mr. Our guest here today. So that must have cost him a lot. But still, there is time to see. We are not writing of Nitish Kumar. Maybe there is still his developmental works, developmental agenda is working somewhere. I think this election will be a test of people's will to accept development as a election plank in terms of, as against the caste being the only denominator by which a voter goes and votes.
No, I'll tell you. This developmental work was going on.
Out of time.
Developmental work was going on only till Nitish Kumar was part of NDA.
Okay.
Before that, when he was with Laluji, he was charged with murder. High Court, there is a case of murder pending against him. So that is his original face. And after NDA, again, he is the same man.
Okay. But thank you so much for coming, Mr. Shivraj Singh and Asha Khosa. Of course, you can continue discussions on all the topics that we discussed during our live shows on Twitter on #IndiaPostLive. Keep the comments coming in on our website, indiapostlive.com. And thank you so much for watching and being part of our conversations.